this year much of the focus is on Shaquille O'Neal. Are we missing someone here, or are you beyond caring about exhibition games or trying to prove anything in them?
Well, I don't think I have to prove anything. Maybe they are missing me a little bit, but that, it doesn't bother me at all. I think Shaquille deserves it. I mean, he's come in with a lot of flair, and certainly his ability is a lot of expectations on it, so he deserves the attention.
Friday night, you, Scottie Pippen, and myself were the only ones not at Media Day. Of course, I'm the only one not getting fined. What is it, both of us don't want to hang out with writers?
Yeah, it seems that way. I mean, neither one of us wanted to go and hear what the writers had to say, but I think they're making a big issue out of nothing. Last 3 years I haven't been there, so I think this year that's making a little bit more than they should be.
In your rookie year, you started in this game, and there was a conspiracy from some of the stars on both teams to make life miserable for you. Now, as the star's biggest game today, will you try and make Shaq's game more memorable than yours was?
No, I don't think no player should go through that. I think as a young player, you try to come in and just try to blend. That was my motto coming in, and I'm pretty sure that's the same for him. So I respect that. Being on both sides of the table, I can understand what Shaq's going through. So I want him to have a memorable first time so that he could remember it. And right now, my memorable first time is not the first game. It's more or less the second or the third.
Okay, before we send it back to Bob, just let me say, every time that you are challenged, you always manage to step up. Are you the MVP today? You're going to save your best MVP quotes for me?
I never like to predict before the game, so I'm just going to go out and play hard. I know some of the spotlights.
2 unstoppable powers unite. Air Jordan and the Shaq Attack versus Sir Charles and Mr. Robinson. East meets West in the NBA All-Star Game, 6 p.m. Eastern tonight.
For the game as the Bulls rallied to beat the Jazz 96-92. However, Quinn Buckner, Michael Jordan has not been near as visible this weekend in Salt Lake City. He and Scottie Pippen did not go to Media Day on Friday. The NBA has said that they will fine them and announce the fine later this week. Michael Jordan last night at the All-Star Saturday Night festivities was introduced and said hello to the crowd, but then seemingly disappeared as the rest of the All-Stars were watching the action. What's up?
Well, with Michael Jordan, along with Scottie Pippen, and you talk about Clyde Drexler, those three were in the final. Michael Jordan is the guy that really wants to have his privacy and his time, particularly with the way the playoffs went and going into the Olympics. That's why he just didn't show up. That's the way he relaxes himself.
Okay, thanks, Quinn. We'll see you in just a bit, just over an hour, in fact, with NBA Showtime at 6 o'clock Eastern. Right now, let's send you back to Torrey Pines and rejoin Jim Lampley.
All right, Hannah, thank you very much.
A new standard of excellence, NBC Sports. This week, the gritty of the new movie Falling Down and the music of Duran Duran. Join Bryant and Katie this week on Today.
Stranded in the... where Ahmad Rashad is standing by with the 20-year-old phenom. Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. Shaquille, everybody's been talking about you the entire week. You got to be a little bit excited about this All-Star game.
I am. I'm having a pretty good year. I'm just glad to be here with guys like Michael, Isaiah, Hakeem, and I'm just go out, get a few dunks, have a good time, laugh, and then go home.
But you told me now that one of the players that gives you a tough time is Hakeem Olajuwon. Well, they have Hakeem and David Robinson double teaming you today. How do you feel about that?
I'll just get the ball to Mike and try to get the rebound.
See, that's what it's like when you're on an All-Star team. You just throw it to anybody and it works.
That's right. That's right.
So you're having a good time?
Yes, I am.
All right. All right. Have a good time out on the court. Thank you. All right, let's go over to Hannah.
Okay, thanks, Ahmad. I'm joined by the 2 centers from the Midwest Division who will be trying to stop the rookie sensation Shaquille O'Neal, 4-time All-Star David Robinson of San Antonio, 8-time All-Star Hakeem Olajuwon of Houston. Now, David, you haven't played Shaq, so let's talk to Hakeem first, because you had a great game against him in November, outscored him 22-12. What made you so effective against Shaquille?
I guess I was lucky, But he's a great player, very physical, and very aggressive on the rebounding end.
So do you have any advice for David here?
Well, they will just have to play his game. I have all the confidence in him, so just make him shoot the right hand. Yeah.
Okay, now, David, you don't meet Shaq until a week from today in a game on NBC. What did Paul Westphal tell you guys, though? What advice did he have for you?
Just said keep that big body out of the paint. You know, he's big and strong, and everybody comments on how quick he is. And my whole thing is probably just to keep him away and try to make them shoot that jump shot. But if that fella gets around that basket, I got a feeling I'm going to have to move out the way so I don't get in any dunk pictures or anything.
Hey, is there a sense, you know, this guy's getting all the attention here. Is there a sense that you want to shut him down a little bit?
I don't think we're going to have fun. I mean, obviously we're not going to go out there and just let him do whatever he wants to do. But this isn't a game that really matters. I think next week it'll be one that really matters for us. So you'll see a different story. But today, if he wants to dunk, he can have all the national limelight he wants. As long as he doesn't embarrass me, that's all right.
You don't want to be on the other end of that one. Okay, let's send it now to Pete Vesey.
Thank you. Michael, last year most of the attention was riveted on Magic Johnson. This year much of the focus is on Shaquille O'Neal. Are we missing someone here, or are you beyond caring about exhibition games or trying to prove anything in them?
Well, I don't think I have to prove anything. You know, maybe they are missing me a little bit, but that, you know, it doesn't bother me at all. I think Shaquille deserves it. I mean, he's come in with a lot of flair, and certainly his ability is, you know, is a lot of expectations on it, so he deserves the attention.
Friday night, you, Scottie Pippen, and myself were the only ones not at Media Day. Of course, I'm the only one not getting fined. What is it, both of us don't want to hang out with writers?
Yeah, it seems that way. I mean, neither one of us wanted to go and hear what the writers had to say, but I think they're making a big issue out of nothing. You know, last 3 years I haven't been there, so yeah, I think this year that's making a little bit more than it should be.
In your rookie year, you started in this game, and there was a conspiracy from some of the stars on both teams to make life miserable for you. Now, as the Stars' biggest game today, will you try and make Shaq's game more memorable than yours was?
No, I don't think no player should go through that. I think as a young player, you try to come in and just try to blend. That was my my motto coming in, and I'm pretty sure that's the same for him. So I respect that. Being on both sides of the table, I can understand what Shaq's going through. So I want him to have a memorable first time so that he could remember it. And you know, right now, my memorable first time is not the first game. It's more or less the second or the third.
Okay, before we send it back to Bob, just let me say, every time that you are challenged, you always manage to step up. Are you the MVP today? You're going to save your best MVP quotes for me?
You know, I never like to predict before the game, so I'm just going to go out and play hard. I know some of the spotlight is taken from me with Shaq, which is good. So I can sneak in the back door maybe. Who knows today?
Okay, thank you. Back to you, Bob.
All right, Pete, thanks a lot. Some of the numbers you saw on Shaq when he was talking with Ahmad, 24 points a game, 14 rebounds, 4 block shots to this point in his rookie year. If he finished his first season with those numbers, they would be better combined numbers than all the other all-star centers you'll see here today had in their rookie years. Olajuwon, Doherty, Ewing, David Robinson, none of them did as well statistically overall as the Shaq is doing so far in his rookie season. Now, coming up, I'll be joined by Magic and that Magic rookie. A visit with Shaquille O'Neal as we continue on this All-Star edition of NBA Showtime.
Country goes with Western. Rock goes with roll. And with Miller Sharps, you get all the crisp, refreshing taste of a great beer without all the alcohol. So the great beer taste of Sharps goes with anything, anytime.
I feel Danorex tingling on this side, nothing on the head and shoulder side. I love that tingle, so I tried Danorex for my dandruff. It really came through. The flaking stopped, my scalp doesn't itch.
Danorex with conditioners, the serious dandruff shampoo.
I've switched to Danorex.
Having fun, fellas? Well, we can play bingo, or we can break out the chips.
Chips!
These aren't Lay's, Michael. Hey, chip's a chip, Tom. Lay's has changed the potato chip. In fact, I bet you can tell the difference between a Lay's potato chip and any other chip.
Well, I guess we shouldn't have bet Landry. There's no difference between Lay's and ordinary chips.
Oh, really? Let's say that.
Who knew Lay's were that good?
Landry!
Today's Lay's. One taste and you'll cash in your old chips.
Mike?
What?
What do you smell?
I can't smell anything. My nose is clogged, yeah.
For fast relief, try Dristan 12-hour nasal spray. Now smell.
It's an orange. Dristan nasal spray just works incredibly fast.
Dristan, the face of relief today.
NBA Showtime is brought to you by Miller Sharps. Miller Sharps gives you great beer taste anytime. And by Lay's Potato Chips. One taste and you'll cash in your old chips.
The Eastern Conference All-Stars set to take the court here at the Delta Center, and there you see Shaquille leading them out there. He is the first rookie to start in the NBA All-Star game since Michael Jordan did so in 1985. Now, just 3 months into his first NBA season, Shaquille O'Neal has exploded onto the scene and taken a place alongside Jordan as perhaps the NBA's two most popular players. Magic Johnson and I had a chance to sit down with the Shaq.
At an early age, I used to like to prove people wrong. You're not going to make it. You're going to be in the Army like your father. You're going to be on the streets of Newark, New Jersey, doing nothing, doing this, doing that. Somebody told me, you see this ball? It's going to put food on the table. You practice with it. You dribble it. You sleep with it. You live with it. And I had my ball while everybody was out playing, hanging out. I was practicing.
Shaquille Rashawn O'Neal is the oldest of 4 children. The Islamic translation of his name, Little Warrior. He was born in Newark, but most of his formative years were spent on the move between Army bases around the world. In high school, the family stopped in San Antonio, where Shaquille led Cole High School to a state championship. The one constant in his ever-changing life has always been a strong family unit and the discipline instilled by his father, Sergeant Philip Harrison.
My dad, he's a strong guy. He told me that, he said, son, I want you to be better than me. I'm in the Army. I could have made it, but things didn't go well. I want you to be better than me. You're not going to hang out and act crazy. You're not going to do drugs. You're not going to be a thief. You're going to be somebody.
I, as a fan, like Shaquille O'Neal.
He's big. He's powerful. He's mean. When he dunks, he gets his legs up. He's trying to rip it off. He can dribble sometimes. He can do a lot of things. He can pass. He dives on the floor. He's a comedian. He's nice.
Big and nice. Why do all big men like to play guard? Why is that a fantasy? I know Kareem, he always, Irvin, let me have the ball. I want to show everybody I can handle. What is that about big centers?
I don't want to play guard, but I just want to show people that sometimes I have handle. I just want to show them that I can throw it between my legs like Jordan can do it, and I can give a crossover dribble like Hardaway can do it. I mean, I don't want to play guard and, come up and be calling plays. I mean, sometimes I just want to get it, dribble it up, either give a nice look-away pass or throw it down just to let them know that, hey, Shaq has handle too.
The Shaq attack, huh?
Yep, Shaq attack.
Who does Shaquille like to watch? Who would you pay to watch?
I like watching Jordan. When I was in high school, he used to do things that when you're sitting there watching, you'd be like, he didn't just do that. I mean, he would jump on one side of the lane, bump you in the air, and the guy would be like right there, and he'd just take the ball and squeeze it between you and lay it off the glass, flick the rest, and it would go in. And, when I'm out there playing against him, he hit 64 on us, I was like, this guy for real. This guy for real. So if I was a fan, I would love to see Michael Jordan.
Now, here's what I want to know. How much did he teach you last summer?
Taught me a lot. He's one of the few guards that I can't block a shot. His hook is just so high, but I got it one time. But he was like, no, Shaq, count it.
Well, he started at center once in an NBA final against Philly.
He did, but playing with Magic was a real good experience. Maybe one day when I have children, I can say, son, I played with Magic Johnson all summer, one summer.
Well, now critique his game.
Well, I think that Shaquille has a lot to work on and learn. Because he's a star, but he hasn't learned how to dominate a game yet. Once he gets his favorite shot, like a Kareem who had his hook, you could never stop that. He's going to be the most unstoppable player. You tell me, what do you feel you need to work on?
I need to work on all parts of my game. Right now, I really don't have a go-to shot because, I just, like to power my way, but all the time, power is not the answer, so I must develop a go-to shot.
They say that you're the next man in line for that torch. Dr. J passed it to myself. I had to pass it to Michael Jordan. Now it's Shaquille O'Neal's turn. Are you ready to take all that weight and put it on your shoulders and handle that situation?
I hope I am. I'm just going to continue to play hard and dominate, and whatever happens, happens. I mean, I'm not going to start thinking about it. I'm just going to go play every day, play like I've been playing, and
whatever happens, happens.
You're a modest guy, it's pretty obvious, but are there times when you feel invincible?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, when you're out there in the heat of the battle, you just, I mean, things are working out for you. You're making your moves, you're hitting your shots. I mean, the thought is just in your mind. No one can stop you. And, sometimes when I'm having a pretty good game, that's the way I feel. That's the way I feel.
What is it that you want to accomplish? What is it that you want fans to remember once it's all over?
Well, I want them to say he was a pretty good player, and he has a couple of championships like you. They can say about you, you won on a high school level, college level, and you won 5 NBA titles.
Man, the man has read up on me, Bob.
He knows.
And I want them to say something like, he won a high school state championship. Things didn't work out in college, but he won 4 or 5 NBA championships. I don't want them to say that he was a great player, but he never won any championships. And that's my, final goal, to win 1, 2, or maybe 3 championships.
Well, succeeding Michael Jordan someday as the league standard bearer means there are big shoes to fill. But check out these ground pads, these size 20 Brogans that they sent over from Shaquille's stash there. How about that?
That is a big shoe. I only wear a size 14, so I don't feel bad now.
Let's check this out just for reference sake, in case I want to keep this fresh and clean, see if there's a place for it in there. Yeah, with room for a fist in there as well to spare.
You got that right.
Size 20, a little bit short of Bob Lanier's 22s, but...
Yeah, but a big man, he needs he usually have a big foot. And it doesn't matter with Shaquille, He's so big and strong. He probably needs them big feet to land on when he comes down dunking on somebody.
And he's got the right attitude, too. When we asked him about the controversy about starting ahead of Patrick Ewing, he said, look, if Patrick had gotten it, I'd shake his hand. Someday a youngster will start ahead of me. I'll tip my cap to him. I asked him about getting in foul trouble as a rookie. He said, no, the officials are not being unfair to me. I got to learn. I'm going up too early to block some shots. I'm getting myself in foul trouble.
Exactly. He's a mature 20-year-old. He understands what he has to work on. He understands that his father has helped him out. And he also understands, Bob, that he doesn't know everything he has to know yet in the NBA and in basketball. So, he's only going to get better.
Now, you all remember that rim-bending episode in Phoenix a couple of weeks ago. Well, accordingly, they're prepared for a Shaq attack here at the Delta Center. This would be your basic backup rim. There it is, just in case. And speaking of Phoenix, which was the scene of that rim bending a while ago, Charles Barkley will be with us as we continue from the NBA All-Star Game right after these messages.
Having fun, fellas?
This, all for the day. Well, this is it. It's the time to go for a Miller Sharps. You get all the crisp, refreshing taste of a great beer without all the alcohol. So take a time out for the great beer taste of Sharps. Anytime.
Tom Snyder, he's back, not tomorrow, but tonight on NBC's cable network CNBC. Tom Snyder tonight and every night on CNBC. Stranded in the snow for 8 days, their story of survival captivated them.
No question who the 19,000-plus fans will be rooting for this evening. Both Karl Malone and John Stockton play, of course, for the hometown Utah Jazz, and each will be starting for the Western Conference. In fact, the entire starting 5 for the West is comprised of Dream Teamers, guys who performed for the U.S. in Barcelona this summer. The 43rd NBA All-Star Game is the culmination of a busy weekend of activities. Last night, the joint was jumping for the Legends Classic, the long-distance shootout, and the Slam Dunk Championship. Quinn Buckner was courtside last night.
The Legends began the night's festivities taking a page out of the Harlem Globetrotters playbook, running the famous weave, Sweet Lou Hudson getting the basket, but the game belonged to George Gervin, with the Iceman winning his second straight Legends game MVP. And in the three-point shooting contest, Cleveland's Mark Price came away the winner. He had the highest score in every round and held on to win the final, when the Blazers' Terry Porter, trailing by just 1 point, missed his last 5 shots to finish second.
Terry was shooting the ball, and he got on that last rack and didn't hit it, and that helped me out. But I was just glad to get past the first round, which I hadn't done before. And once I did that, I felt confident.
Then in the slam dunk competition, the night belonged to Miami's Harold Miners. Moves like the reverse slam put him in the lead, and then he clinched it, going with the windmill move to become the NBA slam dunk champ in his rookie year. Your first time out and you come away with it, man. What do you think?
It was definitely a big thrill for me, you know, to be out here amongst Connie Hawkins and Dr. J and Michael Jordan and all the great players. It was big.
Some people have been calling Harold Miner Little Jordan. He takes a step in that direction last night.
Well, he definitely takes a step in that direction. This guy is a phenomenal athlete. I was really impressed with his explosiveness to the basket. Again, you see that we're starting to get some new blood. We got Harold Miner. Clarence Weatherspoon of Philadelphia was involved in that as well. So the young blood are starting.
Thanks, Bob. Now, these two guys have something in common with the man you've been talking about, Shaquille O'Neal. That's power, size, and quickness. And Larry, is that the prototype for the new NBA star, do you think?
I would hope so. You know, you find these guys coming in playing the 4 spot and the 5 spot. They all have that package with them. And, you know, to be a good player in this league, you got to have that. And I think Sean may have it a little bit more than me, but I'm trying to get there.
Well, Sean may have a little bit of a problem, right? Because you have a bum thumb that kept you out of the slam dunk contest. How's your thumb right now?
Well, it's a little sore, but, you know, this is a game I couldn't miss. This is my first All-Star game, and something I've looked forward to.
And your teammates asked me to give you your music.
An NBA Classic featuring 8 Dream Teamers in a dream game.
This is the NBA on NBC. Today, the world's greatest athletes are showcased in the 43rd annual NBA All-Star Game.
The NBA All-Star Game, for the first time, hosted by the capital city of Utah. The Delta Center, a sellout of 20,000 fans to witness the 43rd NBA All-Star Classic. A year ago, Orlando, home of the Magic, a day for Magic. Three-pointer, Magic Johnson in his final NBA appearance, writing a dramatic chapter with an incredible MVP performance. It was the All-Star Game's most emotional finish. Hello.
In this game, I look for other players to have fun in this game other than Shaquille.
All right, and we have a coach with us as well. When he was with the Atlanta Hawks, 88, you were on the bench.
But because Michael understands that endorsements-wise, he's going to have to shine today. So look for Michael Jordan to be the leading candidate for the MVP.
All right, we're ready for the introduction of the starting lineups and those who are reserved for this All-Star Classic. And with the announcement, the voice of the Utah Jazz, Dan Roberts.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Delta Center in the 43rd annual NBA All-Star Game. And now, let's meet the 1993 Eastern Conference All-Stars. The head coach is the owner of the best winning percentage of any coach in NBA history. Winner of 4 championships with the Los Angeles Lakers, and now the head coach of the New York Knicks, Pat Riley. Assistant coaches from the New York Knicks are Dick Harder and Jeff Van Gundy. And trainer for the East All-Stars is Joe O'Toole of the Atlanta Hawks. Playing in his 5th All-Star game, this gifted big man is considered the best passing center in the league. He also leads the NBA in field goal percentage from the Cleveland Cavaliers, Brad Daugherty. This veteran's all-around skills have made him a 4-time All-Star and a 4-time member of the NBA All-Defensive Team. The most valuable player of the 1989 NBA Finals from the Detroit Pistons, Joe Dumars. An All-Star for the 7th time, this 7-footer is one of the most dominant players in the game. He's won an NCAA championship and 2 Olympic gold medals, and now he's on a mission to capture his first NBA title. From the New York Knicks, Patrick Ewing. the oldest player in the 1993 All-Star game. He's having one of the finest seasons of his 12-year career. A three-time All-Star and one of the league's premier shot blockers from the Cleveland Cavaliers, Larry Nance. The sure-handed point guard ranks among the league leaders in assists, three-point shooting, and free-throw shooting. He supplies spark to the Cleveland Cavaliers' high-powered attack. Playing in his third NBA All-Star game, Mark Price. This versatile forward has been named the NBA's top sixth man for the past 2 seasons. Whether he starts or comes off the bench, he does it all for the Indiana Pacers. Playing in his first All-Star game, Detlef Schrempf. This electrifying forward has dazzled NBA fans for 11 seasons. A 7-time All-Star, a 2-time Gatorade Slam Dunk champion, and one of the most exciting players the league has ever seen. From the Atlanta Hawks, Dominique Wilkins. And now the starting lineup for the East All-Stars. At forward, one of the brightest young stars in the NBA. He's an all-star and a starter in only his second NBA season, leading the Charlotte Hornets to their best record ever, the 1992 NBA Rookie of the Year, Larry Johnson. At the other forward is one of the NBA's best all-around players. Appearing in his third NBA All-Star game, his scoring, passing, rebounding, and defense helped the Chicago Bulls to 2 straight World Championships, Scottie Pippen. At center is the first rookie to start in an All-Star game since 1985. Standing over 7 feet tall and weighing 300 pounds, he plays well beyond his 20 years. You know him simply as the Shaq. From the Orlando Magic, Shaquille O'Neal. Making his 12th consecutive All-Star game appearance as one of the most successful point guards in NBA history. He was the MVP of the 1990 NBA Finals, leading the Detroit Pistons to their second straight championship, Isaiah Thomas. And at the other guard, a 3-time NBA Most Valuable Player and 6-time scoring champion who holds the highest scoring average in the history of the All-Star Game. The top vote getter in the Miller Genuine Draft NBA All-Star balloting for the 7th straight season from the world champion Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan. And now, the Western Conference All-Stars. The head coach is a man who has coached his team to the best record in the NBA. His first year on the bench, a 5-time All-Star in his playing days from the Phoenix Suns, Paul Westphal. The assistant coaches are Lionel Hollins and Scottie Robertson of the Suns, and the trainer is Don Sparks of the Utah Jazz. This young forward is having his best season ever and has helped his team become a force in the Midwest Division. A first-time All-Star representing the San Antonio Spurs, Sean Elliott. An exciting point guard whose trademark is a crossover dribble. This Golden State Warrior ignites the league's highest scoring offense, playing in his third straight NBA All-Star game, Tim Hardaway. This 6'10" forward is making his first appearance in the All-Star game after 3 appearances in the Gatorade Slam Dunk Championship. One of the NBA's most exciting young superstars from the Seattle Supersonics, Shawn Kemp. This hard-nosed competitor is playing in his second straight NBA All-Star game. He's a threat whether driving to the basket or shooting from three-point range. One of the bright young stars of the Phoenix Suns, Dan Majerle. This talented young forward is making his first appearance in the NBA All-Star game. Now in his 5th professional season, he's leading the team's quest for a second straight playoff berth. From the Los Angeles Clippers, Denny Manning. This veteran center leads the league in NBA block shots and ranks among the top 10 in scoring and rebounding. Enjoying perhaps the finest season of his career, an 8-time All-Star from the Houston Rockets, Hakeem Olajuwon. This veteran guard is one of the league's top three-point shooters. He has dished out more assists and made more three-pointers than any player in Portland Trail Blazer history. Making his second All-Star appearance, Terry Porter. Also selected to the West Conference All-Star team by conference coaches, but unable to play due to injury, from the Golden State Warriors, Chris Mullin. And here today, from the Sacramento Kings, Mitch Richmond. And now, the starting lineup for the West All-Stars. At one guard, the NBA's leader in assists for the past 5 seasons, and the record holder for most assists in a single season, a 5-time All-Star, the consummate playmaker of the Utah Jazz, John Stockton. Also at guard, a veteran who's so smooth he's nicknamed the Glide. His graceful moves have entertained NBA fans for the past decade, making his 7th appearance in the NBA All-Star game from the Portland Trail Blazers, Clyde Drexler. At center, a 4-time All-Star who ranks among the league leaders in scoring, rebounding, and block shots. Nicknamed the Admiral, he's captained the San Antonio Spurs to prominence in the Midwest Division, David Robinson. At forward, this dynamo has the Suns rising in Phoenix after 8 great seasons in Philadelphia. The MVP of the 1991 NBA All-Star Game, a 7-time All-Star, Charles Barkley. And at the other forward, a man who loves to drive to the basket or along the highway in his 18-wheeler. He's been among the NBA's top 5 in scoring and rebounding for 5 straight seasons. A 6-time All-Star and the game's MVP in 1989. From the Utah Jazz, the mailman, Carl Malone. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of our colors by the Utah Joint Armed Forces Color Guard. And now, to honor with the singing of our national anthem, the group that first broke the record held by Elvis Presley for most weeks at the top of the record charts. Motown recording artist, Boyz II Men.